Here. Okay, roll call. Let's start with Mike.
Mike Cobb, supervisor for the county from Augusta.
Christian Leonard, Wilson Park County Noxious Lead Supervisor.
Jade Wells, Lewis and Park County.
Alex Lopez, Lewis and Clark County.
Judith Lamb. Vincent. Board member.
Stacy Barch, board member.
Rob McDonough, board member, at the pleasure of the commission.
County Speed County Commissioner. Jenny Chambers, Public Works County.
Dave Birch, Chairman, representing the West Valley, West Helena Valley, and online we have Kevin. You're muted, Kevin. Can't hear you.
Yeah, let me take a look here.
Microphone
I
access.
think it did this last time, didn't it?
Nope, it's on. Oh, you hear us?
You can
Okay,
hear us.
okay, we can't hear you for some reason. Well, thank you for being on again, Kevin.
I was gonna say, he can chat us if.
Yeah.
Sorry about that,
Okay.
but thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. So, if I'm right, if Kevin we could actually hear him, he took over Lacey Decker's job, right? Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
BLM,
Yep.
Right.
so that's good.
Congratulations
Yeah,
again,
congrats.
Kevin.
Okay, the May 1st meetings, the minutes are online, the outline is in your packet. Any public comment, which I don't see any public here, so I guess we're
He
good.
could call in, could he?
Yeah, I was gonna say, or if, yeah, Kevin, you're welcome to call in if you'd like. Otherwise, if you wanna chat, if you have anything to say too, and we can read it out loud. I'm sorry, I don't know, we're having issues, but.
Yeah, just raise your hand, we'll keep an eye on you, so. No public comment, so we'll go into action items for the Fund 297. And we had a couple things tabled from the last meeting, project partnership. Did you ever talk to Melissa by
I
chance?
did. Melissa is going to be at our, I believe, November meeting.
Okay.
Just right now it's the season, so not a good time, but she is going to be, I believe, it's the November 6th, I think, whatever, November meeting. And she plans on being here in person too, so she will give her presentation at our November meeting.
Okay, great.
And so, that Fund 297, we had got a request for them just for, like a partnership contribution.
Right.
And so we were just, I guess, talking about that, seeing if that's something the board would like to contribute a certain amount to Montana Biocontrol.
You know what other people are donating to that partnership?
I don't, I know generally it's, anywhere from like, 1 to 500, just depending on. So.
Okay. Well, I think it's a really worthwhile project, so I would entertain a motion to do a partnership with the Montana Biocontrol project for 250.
So move.
So it's moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Rob. Thank you.
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy, yes. Ben Trollquist, I don't. Thanks, Stacy. So any other discussions on that?
Now, is that for bug control or is that for literature and stuff like that,
That-
or all of the above?
It goes to the Montana Biocontrol project, just their project in general, so all of
All
their,
of the above.
yeah.
General.
And then would you guys like that to come out of the WGSCR, the Noxious Weed Trust Fund, or the MDT?
Should probably come out of that. the
I'd
first
rather have
one.
it
The
come out of the
first
trust
one,
fund.
yep, perfect,
Just because. DOT is
absolutely.
a part of it.
Sounds great.
Sure, so. Okay. So it's been moved and seconded to support the biocontrol project for $250. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just a quick clarification question. Are you guys gonna send a letter? As like a partnership letter supporting their mission and then saying they're gonna provide the dollars or?
Yeah, sorry, last meeting I had presented, they had sent us, kind of like a letter requesting,
Okay.
and then it has a kind of a piece of paper that you fill out and everything.
Okay.
And so I'll fill all of that out, and then I'll also email that out to the board, so
Okay.
just everyone can see that we did that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Community events. So we tabled the Lincoln Parade. Any updates on that, Judith Ann?
Okay, so the Lincoln Parade is gonna be, if it gets done, and I hope it does get done, but I will be pulling that together at the last minute. It will be after I get through with spray days, after I get through with a couple other projects, and then I will be into the Lincoln Parade. So it'll be last minute, and I know these guys, it's hard because of 4th of July weekend. So if I go, it'll be me, my truck, my trailer, and whoever I can gather. And a few old bones and some dirt and a bit of grass. And I might need a sign that says native, not noxious. What thing?
So in the meantime, Neil, do you wanna?
Yeah, hello, everybody. I'm Neil Snow. Apologize, I got stuck behind the
I have,
railroad
oops, excuse me.
crossing.
Train will get ya.
Everybody else is stuck behind there.
Oh, all the time.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and I have a compartment on the trailer that is triangular. I put 2 of these, one on each side of the trailer. It's just about this size, so if I glue it there, it might be there forever, but.
Okay.
Any thoughts? These are the 32 Montana noxious weeds.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
so there's my thought, and it's coming together in my brain, but nowhere else.
That's the first place.
Okay, I guess if you do pull it together, make sure it's.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Pictures and videos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have company that weekend from Idaho, and I'll have good, strong boys. 3 of them,
Hmm.
and a couple of girls,
Good.
and so.
Okay.
It may come together with thanks to Idaho.
Okay,
So,
great.
And Mr. Chair, we did have Shelley join us.
Hey Shelley, can you hear us? You're muted. I think you're,
Sorry, I'm late. Yes, I can hear you.
okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, any other questions on the Lincoln? Any comments? Okay. So any discussion on,
One, excuse me,
Yep, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, do we need, what about the signs? If we need to get the signs, are those gonna be paper? Should I make them in?
I guess at this point, I would just make one at paper if you need it,
Okay,
or we'll try to, I mean, I don't know what else to do with that, because it'd be kind of hard to,
Do you mat it,
Cardboard,
plastic or?
plastic,
yeah, plastic
On the
or
ring?
cardboard, yeah. Yeah, keeps it ring.
should I see how much plastic ones are that say native, not noxious, where we could use someplace else?
You could
Right.
check.
Okay,
Okay. I wonder if, yeah, that's kind of a specific sign. I don't think anybody else would have one. Okay. So we need to discuss any other suggested purchases, purchase items or authorized funding for 297. Do you guys need anything from 297?
No.
And we're fairly decent on giveaways.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. We got plenty of promo stuff.
Okay. I did talk, I had I'll kind of do my report now, but it kind of fits in with this thing, but I had a financial committee meeting with the MWCA yesterday. Or the day before, I guess. And they have put $10,000 aside for promo items. But when they do their promo items, they're gonna actually charge for them. Like the playing cards or, you know, that kind of stuff. They're thinking about doing some pens and pencils because they're cheap, and then they can just give those out to the counties. And then the counties can give them out as well. But the MDA, Department of Ag, is gearing up the statewide noxious weed education campaign again. So I think when they get rolling, there'll be some more opportunities to do different types of promo items with them as well. If somebody can come up with a template, then we can take that template and change it to fit what we need. And I don't think they'll have an issue with that, but I'm not exactly sure. Jasmine wasn't on a phone call, so I don't know exactly where we're at with MDA taking that over. Have you heard anything, Christian?
I have not.
Okay. I know that Jasmine said she had funding for it, so they were gonna try to get that up and running, so, it's needed, and I think, long story short, what comes around goes around, because we had it after Carla Hoops left. Department of Ag had that program for 5 years and it was ran pretty well, so I'm hoping that they get back into it, get a coordinator hired, and we can get over the territorial issues with that, but. So we can, hopefully we'll have some more promo items coming out from them as well, so. Any other things, Judith Ann?
is that part of that gonna be, funded by the trust fund from the noxious weed trust fund?
I don't know if I don't know if the program, they probably won't be, it'll probably be donations from other entities. The law is specific that the Department of Ag cannot apply for a grant for themselves. And since that will be under their
Oh, I see.
umbrella, they won't be able to apply for trust fund grants. But Jasmine did think that she had enough funding available for the coordinator and some program expenses, so we'll see how it goes, because originally, when that program was done, a lot of the agencies, Fish, Wildlife and Parks, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Department of Transportation, there was 6 or 7 of the
DNRC.
agencies, yes. There were 6 or 7 of them that donated $5,000 to $10,000 a year for that program.
Mhm.
So hopefully that's what they'll continue to do, and then that'll give us enough money to run that program as needed, so. But we'll see how it goes, I guess, so.
They had some great product,
They did,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I inventoried all my stuff that I gathered from over the years. And, they had those big flip cards that were on like a key ring thing. And, there's just a whole bunch of stuff in there that went down and organized and itemized.
Yeah, one of the best things that they did, I think, was their realtor program.
Mhm.
'Cause they were okay for points for realtors, if they attended their
Mhm.
class, they would get points for it, and they were always well attended. Always
Right.
well attended.
Yeah, one of my first year, second year here, we did that. I did that with Chantel Martin and, Jane Mangold, and it was, I think there were 60 realtors there.
Hmm.
Oh, it was, like you said, it was very well attended,
Right,
so.
well, and that program was online also.
Yes.
You could do it online.
Quick question, was that to just increase their awareness of
Yes,
selling rural properties
well,
or,
and actually,
you know,
if-
valuations and things?
if they do a buy-sell agreement or in the buy-sell agreement, there's supposed to be, there's a page in there that is, they're supposed to go over with the landowners, the buyers, the sellers and the buyers. Because if there's a weed management plan on their property, then they're supposed to take that over. If there's not one, then they're supposed to contact the county and
Okay.
get that going. So there's a management plan in place for those properties.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
But
thanks.
didn't the realtor have to disclose that
Yes.
there were noxious weeds actually on the property?
Yeah, the landowner has to disclose it to the realtor,
To
and the
the
realtor
right.
then had to disclose it to the new prospective buyers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was good
Mr. Chair.
program.
Yeah, it's on that same sheet, like where you say, like if there's lead paint, whether the house was used for, you know, making drugs or, you know, all that kind of, all that whole sheet where you're doing your signatures all the way down and down it. Yeah, one of them is state listed noxious weeds, and it has like 2 or 3 lines for you to actually write down the noxious weeds that you have on your property. To disclose that to your owner or to the buyer. The seller has to disclose that to the buyer so that it's out there that they know, so.
The reason that we push for that so bad is because a lot of times the buyers would try to sell a property in the wintertime when there was snow cover. And then they wouldn't show there was any noxious weeds, and then the new buyer would come in and say, oh, there's all these pretty purple flowers out there.
Yeah.
And then they learn that they have to control. But yeah, it was a great program, so hopefully they'll get it back up and running and get it to the point where it needs to be.
That's at the national level?
That's at the state level. Yep. Yep. Okay, any other discussion on funding items? Okay. Going to staff reports, Christian.
Well, it is that time of the year. We are real busy. Trying to spray. The wind and the spring weather has not been exactly kind or cooperative. We appreciate all the moisture as it could be a pretty dry year here too real quick. So be windy and dry would not be beneficial for us. But we got a lot of irons in the fire just to go over some of the spray projects we have going on right now. We have MDT. MDT was gracious enough to give us an additional, Great Falls gave us an additional $6,000 on top of their $6,000 that they gave us, or $3,000 that they gave us for on the contract. So we were able to go out there again and spray. Butte district, because we're split, Lewis and Clark County, pretty much split right down the middle, sort of like Stemple, Sebin exit, south is Butte, and everything north of that is Great Falls. They also gave us $8,000 on top of the original contract that they gave us. So we're pretty busy trying to fulfill all those. Next week, we have to have all those bills submitted for them for processing, because it is the end of fiscal year for all of us. So we also have that on top of all of us. We got fishing accesses that we also need to get done too here shortly. This year we have our Beaver Creek restoration. They've been out there, they redid the Beaver Creek for stream restoration, and we've been helping. They got a rat grant, they did. And then they're using us to contract out to
repeated.
Forest Service
Service.
to do that. So we've been going out there. That's one of our projects. Forest Service. We got an agreement with the Forest Service. They're doing a big, forest thing, management project out just, east of like, Jimtown Road, like right out there in that country. So we got a contract with them to spray all the routes, all the logging road routes out there to take care of that. It's 120-foot swath, 60 feet on each side of the road, out in the Forest Service to do that. So good on them. We have that for 5 years. We go out and do all of our fire districts. We help out spray the fairgrounds, as well as all of the county property we have over there. It's not just the fairgrounds. We got the ball fields and everything down here. Yes, sir.
Just for my education, who decides on the 60 foot? Is that standard?
That is a part of the contract that they give us. That is what they put in the contract for what they want me to do is 60 feet off of the edge of the road into the forest to make sure that we're mitigating those noxious weeds. That was set by the Forest Service.
And on the county, what is their?
Well, county, we just spray what is our county right of way, which is usually you got,
20 feet.
usually it's 60 feet. Now that's,
30.
that we can't. That's not always the case. If you get into the whole road thing, we could talk about that for hours. Usually it's 60 feet, so you got 30 foot of road, and then you have 15 feet off of the edge, 15 feet off of the edge, usually. Is typical, but that's not always the case. It's not always black and white when it comes to that. You know, we have roads that were put together in 1800, so it gets a little difficult sometimes. Then we go out and do we have to take care of some transfer stations, and then we have like special projects like Augusta Sewer, ponds. We have an MOU with the Trap Club area for all the stormwater detention area that we go over there and spray the weeds in where if something was to happen, we let the gates open to put some of the water in there. If it ever comes, but part of that is to mitigate the weeds for when it does flood, all those seeds go into their property, so we take care of that. Yeah, and then we have some fun hydro seeding projects. We have the Little Prickly Pear Bridge detour. Once they're done with their utility work out there, we'll be out there hydro seeding that. They redid some of the drainage work on Ronda Road, so we'll be out there revegetating that as well. And then the landfill has some pretty large projects. We'll be doing a couple acres worth out at the landfill this year. They'll be finishing up part of their budget for fiscal year 25 is finishing capping the old landfill off and prepping it, and then we'll be seeing it this fall for that. So, and then still just filling the new berm that they dug from the new cell. We're trying to get that hydro seeded. So that's sort of what we have on the books for right now. And then on top of that, we have our 1,400 miles of county road that we go out and do every year to the best of our ability. So keep your eyes out and look and let us know what we got growing and out and about. So here, after we get at least MDT and fishing accesses, we'll start to get out and do some of our county roads and stuff. So but then some things that also I'd like to highlight is our egg days went real well. I would like to thank Alex and Jade for participating and running those education days for the youth. They did one day for East Helena, which is sort of that one's just fourth grade. So that one's just fourth grade for the East Helena. And then Jim Darcy is sort of a conglomerate. You get to deal with little kindergartners and you get to deal with fifth graders. It just depends on who's coming through. So it's sort of fun to do that. I did not get to participate in that as much as I would have liked to this year. We're busy all over the place. Southwest area crew training. We had that last week and that went really, really well. So great presenters. Just some of the topics, we talk about herbicide labels, calibration, ATV safety, bear aware. And then a lot of them get ready to take the test too. So, and then plant ID on a lot of them. So, thanks to Alex and all this hard work in the greenhouse, we're able to take some really nice live samples down there that they didn't just rip out of the ground and then lay them on the table. And then by the time you're doing weed ID, they're all pretty sad looking. So we did have some that worked really well. And then when we were out doing our little prickly pear, just getting our square footage so we could order materials for the project, we found the crucifix bug out there on little prickly pear, the hound's tongue biocontrol. Yep. We've been sort of waiting. They've said it's been here in Lewis and Clark County, but I had not seen it myself, so I don't, I guess sometimes it's one of those things, I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing, but Alex and I were out there looking and they had done a lot of work there and removed some of the brush out of the ditch. And so there's a lot of hound's tongue underneath the lining trees and bushes. And Alex and I went out there and looked, and a couple of them looked real sad. And I was hoping that we would find some, and I pulled it up, and we found at least 6 larvae in the root already actively growing. And then I actually shook the plant and got the adult out, and I was a little confused. Usually things are like on a linear growth stage, like they just go and then next year it's the same thing over and over again. And Alex did some research, and they can overwinter as an adult, as a pupa, and even overwinter as a larva. So, which is what makes them very successful in this. This is not an approved biocontrol agent to move. But it is glad that it is here, and I found this, so, hopefully next week.
Was it on a hound's tongue?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I can show you guys some pictures here after
There's
the
good
meeting.
pictures of the one that's coming down out of Canada.
Yeah, this is the one that Canada approved. It has not been approved in the US to move. They're still trying to do tests to see if it'll eat one of the endangered species that we have in the United States.
There's I think it's a Boraginaceae plant down in Texas that's endangered, and it's the last of its species, and it's not found anywhere else, like in the world. So it's on the endangered plant list, and so like because of that, it probably won't ever be approved by EPA because it's the last plant of its kind.
Yeah.
The bug will make its way down to Texas probably, and end up decimating that colony at some point, because they did find that it can't eat that plant as well.
And what is the plant?
I think it's a borage.
It's same family
same
as, it's the same family as a hound's tongue, but it's native, the
Yeah.
native plant
Does
to.
it have burrs too?
I imagine it probably does have cockleburs on it just like that, but we do have it here. Next week, when things simmer down, the first week of the month is always real busy for all of us. We've been doing budgets these last months. So, yeah, no, I'm real excited to have found this. Hopefully we start to see it be a little bit more prevalent especially up in the areas. This is that plant's a difficult one to manage due to where it grows. It grows underneath all of our trees and all of our bushes, and and where that's where our livestock likes to go hang out and relax when it's hot outside. So which is why it's there. They carry that, the elk, the coyotes, the wolves, the bears, all that. So it just makes it really difficult. So hopefully we start to see this around a little bit more, and I look at coming up to your country to see if we can find it there. So anyways, it's right at the little prickly pear. So yeah,
Can you pass it around?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
So
see
do
if
we
we can
have a
get it.
picture of what that actually looks like?
It's a little bugger.
It is, yeah, they're not real big, but I got some pictures. I'll show you after this. They're pretty cool.
The endangered
I
plant,
thought it looked like.
And
a
what
they
is
know
it?
why it's endangered, was it people that are wrecking its native habitat?
I'm not sure. It could be disturbance. It just doesn't seem like it had as large of a range, maybe.
Wouldn't think something that small would be.
So are they trying to promote it to grow, or are they just?
I think they're just monitoring those sites. It's kind of like sensitive species here with the Forest Service. It's like you monitor those plants, but you don't necessarily collect.
Yeah.
them.
But if it got a
Except
certain
they said it had
population,
more
they could
legs
take it
and
off
They
the
told me that it has
Yeah.
more legs than a
Yeah.
tick does.
So I'm not sure. if
No,
they're
less.
Less legs,
Yeah,
less legs,
ticks-
less legs than a
Ticks have
tick.
8, this looks like it has 6.
Yeah, less legs, or whatever. I knew there was something about the legs.
If you look on the top of it, it has like a little, just has like a couple little white splotches and then, so it looks a little bit like a cross. So that's why they call it the crucifix. The crucifix beetle. It's pretty excited to see it. I did a tour in 2015 up in Canada to
On the
to
ground.
research it, but it had already got rid of all the hound's tongue. So like I didn't even get to see the bug. And I don't even think she even had like any samples or anything for us to really look at, maybe besides pictures, but when they blow up the picture, you know, you think, you don't really know how big it's gonna be. And so, but yeah, that's all I have. I'm taking up my time here.
Now, what you put in here to keep him alive?
No, he's not alive, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, Yeah.
Dead, you know.
yeah, so I was gonna see, we gotta go get a little bit of resin. I would like to see if I can do a little resin mold so it stays together. They did it, Melissa did it with some of her other ones. I'd like to see if I can try.
Yeah, the place like Christian was talking about up in Canada, we went to that tour. That was at least a 30-acre field
Yeah.
that they thought they had it in, and there was nothing.
It was real impressive. It was bad. It was just everywhere. The whole place was inundated with it. And couple years, 3-4 years down the road, 3-5 years down, it was gone. The bug had totally moved. And I guess they're really good flyers. And after we got it, it was like 38 degrees or 40 degrees when we were out there doing that there. So it wasn't real active, but as soon as we got him in here, man, he was all, the bug, if he or she, was very, very, very active. It was pretty cool how, but anyways.
How did you spot it? Did you?
You know, I just wanted to go look for it. So like I was in the ditch on my hands and he's crawling through the forest, seeing what I could find. So I found it. So it was a real sad looking plant. If you ever seen spotted knapweed that has the root weevil in it, you know, it's like real short and bushy. It was sort of doing the same thing. It wasn't like the big leaves, how they get like the big leaves before they bolt and flower. It was pretty big too. The root on the end was real big from the larvae eating it out. So it was still trying to like grow out. So it's pretty good size on the end of it, but it was real short. The leaves weren't real big. They were all probably about that long. And it looked like someone shot it with a shotgun. It just had holes all over it. Which is sort of what I was looking for. I was looking for the adults.
And you could actually see the holes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you pictures after this. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I better be paying closer
Yeah.
attention.
Well, it's good that it's here that I saw it. So like I said, I'm gonna be peeking around. I'd like to get up to Wolf Creek and see if I can find it anywhere off the road around there. Or even maybe take a ride with Rob up on his property somewhere to see if I can see it, go up on
Yes.
Cobb's Ranch and see what we can find there, just see if we can find it in all those locations. If it's here, it has to be there too, so I'd like to find it. Just so we know it's there. And that's all I have,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, sorry, I'm
Appreciate
I'm the
it.
one
No,
talking
thank you.
today.
That's good news, actually. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
great.
That would be nice. Ken?
Just kind of give you an overview of some of the projects we've got going on, just when you're out and about. Busy season for the road department. If you guys were driving around last couple of weeks, Bird's Eye from Austin to 3 Mile got an asphalt overlay. We're done with that project. This week, if you head up anywhere, Marysville, on that road, we're gonna be chip sealing it Thursday and Friday, and then hopefully sweeping and doing some work next week on that as well. So there's some reader boards up and some signs for public notice. And then also probably next week, starting on an overlay for Valley Drive on the northern part of Valley Drive. Plus MDT has a big project as well on, I think Canyon Ferry Road. So it's gonna either be county or MDT, around the Helena Valley area for sure, this summer season. If you're up in Lincoln Country, at all this summer, MDT's got like 4 major projects going on in the Lincoln area. They're tearing up Fletcher Pass, and doing some millings work. They're gonna be giving county the millings. We got an agreement with them to get the millings donated from Fletcher Pass. That's gonna be a pretty, probably pilot cars, I would imagine, and slow traffic down through there. On the highway going into Lincoln, they're gonna be tearing out the rumble strips and redoing some of the rumble strip work. There's a major bridge project on Dalton Mountain Road that's gonna be closed. There's a detour for that for around about 12 miles for Lincoln area. So just know if you're traveling around or if you've got people coming to visit, there's just a lot of activity going on around in Lincoln this summer. And then, as Christian said, we're just been busy with budgets. So as all the departments presented their fiscal year 25 budgets to the Board of County Commissioners last week. And then they had a work session on Tuesday. And so we're looking pretty good shape for public works. Some of our requests for some of our capital improvement plan savings for the master plan implementation did not get approved. But we've got a game plan, I think, with the chief administrative officer and our chief financial officer for us to continue conversations over the next year to see maybe where we can head in the future. So it did what it needed to do as far as starting the conversation and having a dialogue for the public works complex and just kind of where we're headed with that master plan activities. But other program requests for the noxious weed program status quo from last year's budget that you guys approved, and that's looking like we're going to be in good shape for next year as well. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. I can answer any questions, or as always, if you have something that comes up, feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, go ahead, Stacy.
The Canyon Creek or Little Prickly Pear Bridge, do you guys have a finish date on that, or is it, they're not done with it yet?
It's done.
Okay, so-
The Little Prickly Pear Bridge is done. I think they're ripping out the detour, and then they're going to finish some of the vegetation on the side with the detour. Then Christian will go on and do hydroseeding, but the road is open, the bridge is complete.
Okay.
A
I haven't
very
been up there.
very
Fence is
successful
going
project.
up today.
Fence is going up today, yeah, but the road's open and the bridge can cross the
It
bridge.
looks
and
really nice.
They did a lot of work
Yeah.
on it. It should last now for,
Oh,
yeah, well,
Long time. Yeah,
50 plus years
Yeah.
probably at the rate limit
I
we've
saw
got.
when they were
So,
pouring the concrete and stuff in there, it looked really nice.
Yep, that was kind of a change in the plans when they, it was only gonna be the bridge deck, it wasn't gonna be the concrete. When they went in there to look at the concrete was in worse shape than what was anticipated, so that was kind of a quick shift to do the concrete as well as the bridge deck, so.
Okay.
But yep, the bridge crew did a good job on that project, so.
I've got a quick question if you don't mind.
Sure.
Go ahead, Shelley.
Anytime you do these county projects, whether it's road work or bridge work or any of these kind of things, do you consider and do weed control prior to going in there? Because each time any dirt gets disturbed, that's a big weed potential.
Yeah, great question, Shelley, and yeah, we do. I mean, Christian spot, like he indicated, he has weed spraying for all the county roads on a regular basis, and then Christian's involved a lot in our Monday coordination meetings on projects and also just our engineering updates and road projects. So he knows kind of what the next schedule is for some of those road work. But yeah, kind of getting out there and doing some spraying in advance of those bridge projects. The road work doesn't usually impact too much on the side jobs unless we're doing some major ditch work and clearing like they did on the Rhonda Road. Christian did focus on, or go out there with the bridge crew folks and looked at the ditch prior to them doing that work, and then is going up afterwards. But yeah, that's a great point, Shelley, and I think someone will remind the bridge manager and road manager to loop Christian in on those things as well. Plus, I think one thing I don't think we've shared with you guys as well, Christian went to stormwater pollution prevention training, and he's a SWIP administrator. So not only with the noxious weed awareness, but maybe also helping with erosion control and stormwater runoff issues associated with that dirt disturbance that Shelley mentioned. So does that help, Shelley?
Not exactly. What I was really trying to get at is it would be beneficial, I believe, if that coordination was done years, if not months in advance, months, if not years in advance, simply because if you are going out to an area and you are going to disturb it, if you spray the weeds prior to, for preferably 2 years, is what I found in the 20 years of reclamation that I did. If you do the weed spraying ahead of time, your chances of creating weed problems during your construction are diminished greatly. You don't have the spread, you don't have a seed bed anymore, etc. That helps a lot. There's just those kind of things that can be done to maybe reduce some of the things. What I'm seeing driving around the county right now is that everywhere there's been a road disturbance recently, there's white top now. So, things like that are just easy things to do, easy coordination to be done, and can save us all in the long run.
I think in the planning phases, you guys can make sure that that gets done, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely work on doing more site specific, but like Jenny was saying, I mean, we spray every road every year. We've done that for decades. I know that doesn't help. I know little seed banks there and all that, but yeah, we can certainly look at some other alternative methods to, before to maybe broadcast those areas for a little bit better ground
Yeah.
seed bank control in the future, but
I think it would probably help quite a bit.
yeah.
I think it would be beneficial, but however, keep in mind that those seeds can remain viable in the soil, like knapweed, for instance, for 8 to 10 years. So the
Mhm.
2-year process there is gonna be helpful, but it's not gonna alleviate your problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I did to try to help with that, with this is when we purchased that hydro seeder so that we have the means to properly vegetate it post to help with that. I think in a lot of cases, before the hydro seeder, it was, a broadcast or spread and just let the seed sit there before, versus now we actually have a hydro seeder to help hold the ditch together for erosion control until we actually get the vegetation on top of it too. So, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I guess to note is if it's not a county, it might be a county road, but it might not be a county project. So all the work we did last year on Valley Drive by the high school area there, that was filling the sand and gravel. And as part of their contract conditions, they're responsible to make sure that's vegetated and there's a weed management plan and that they're addressing any weeds for a period of time after the contract. So I think it's both. I think it's, the pre-planning ahead of time, even if there's another contractor doing the work, but then also making sure the county holds the contractor responsible for making sure that it's vegetated, we get vegetation back with the right type of vegetation. And then also, that they manage any of the weeds for a period of time after that major work, Sometimes we're just doing grading and we're not really doing much with the ditches, but when we do a major road reconstruction, I think that's a good point to follow up on, so. Okay.
So in discussing with, you said it was a contractor that did the work. Were they doing the work for the county?
Yes, of course, Shelley.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
the road.
so again, in the planning period, obviously the county is aware that that's work that's going to come up and they could be, focusing a little harder on that particular area for a couple of years. The other thing that I would suggest is, and it also worked very well, contractors don't clean their vehicles and they're necessarily but the actual equipment in between jobs, they just load it up on a low boy and take it to the next job. We always wrote in our contracts that those things had to be completely cleaned before they came onto our job. It's an easy thing to put in the contract. It's an easy thing to inspect, and it saves tremendously on weed issues. So that's something else I would recommend putting in contracts for any work that gets done.
Yeah, that's a part of our weed management plan that we have in there, like when they get timber harvest. Turn in a weed management plan for their timber harvest, for their subdivisions, that's a part of that, is that they clean and wash their equipment before and after they leave.
Excellent. Does anybody inspect that?
That's sort of hard to inspect that, but we can certainly try to work with them a little bit on that, but,
Yeah, because that was
But I
in all of our contracts, and if we didn't inspect, they hauled out some horribly dirty stuff onto our projects. I can tell you that after they did that a couple of times and I sent them back to the nearest town to get clean, they didn't do it after that. So it would take a little help up front to make it happen, but it's well worth it in the end.
Rough.
Just, for what it's worth.
Thank you, Shelley.
On
Thank
287 where the highway crosses Sun River, do you have anything to do with that? Because they're redoing the bridge, I heard. And that,
I think that's Forest Service property.
no, it's on a highway,
Oh,
287. Right at it's at the Teton, Lewis and Clark.
might be MDT.
Or the irrigation district is doing some work.
I don't know. I'll have to,
The one that
Rob,
goes over the
I'll
top.
have to check on that and get back to you. So it's on Highway 287 where it crosses Sun River
Mhm.
Bridge.
I just heard recently that they're doing bridge work, gonna be doing bridge work. And I
Okay.
wonder, before when they did it, you couldn't go that way. You had to go down to Sims, to Fairfield to get to shore.
Wow. I think that is MDT. I think I recall at some of the Augusta Government Day, they talked about 2 bridge projects going towards Shoto.
Gotta be
but,
MDT, but it could be in another division of theirs.
Yeah, it's Great Falls Division. It was the Great Falls Division. So I'll see if I can get an update of the status of those, at least get it sent to Jay to get to the board, just for you guys that are traveling around.
Great. Anything else for Jenny? Okay, Candace, Commissioner Payne.
My head is spinning because we've been working on budgets. And there's a big struggle about, we want to have our weeds sprayed, we want to have our roads fixed. No more taxes. Well, I'm not sure, but I think the cost of spray has probably gone up a little. I know the cost of fuel has. And so it is a struggle to keep the taxpayers sort of, while we're still trying to get the job done. So it's not an easy job. And yesterday we were talking about our employees' health insurance, which is something we provide as a benefit, and the cost of our health insurance has gone way up. And anyway, we had to make some hard decisions. And as I pointed out, we got elected to make hard decisions. We can't always give everybody everything they want. Sometimes you gotta say no. So that's a harder part of the job. It's not all attending these fun little meetings and learning about weeds and parks and all that.
And crucifix bags.
Yeah, but this is one of my favorite little groups here. So I always learn a lot of these for it. But this week I'm learning budgets.
Votes,
Voting. That is not within the realm of my concern. No, that is
Oh, yeah, I guess we'll.
the election department, and we have a meeting, and I think it's next week, where it's called caucusing the votes. And they go through page by inch explaining to us, well, now these did this and this, and this is from this, and then, so it has to all be explained, and if we have questions, then we can bring that up. And it is an amazing process. It's complicated and
Is there a big backlash with the property tax increase, or did everybody just not see that coming in, or is the
Oh.
schools?
Well, they didn't pass any of the referendums that they were wanting to get passed. And so the schools have, it's different for the county schools than for the city schools. And was there a backlash? Well, there has not, I don't think any of the referendums passed for this section, this cycle. And I think that's a direct response to why are our taxes so high? On the other hand, I mean, that's, the taxes are related to the valuation of our property, which was done. And I think that was the biggest shock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there is a backlash, and I'm hoping that our elected legislators will hear from their constituents and say, we need to. One of the things I'm not an expert on this, but years ago as a lobbyist, they did away with the special pockets of money for things like school funding. Used to be it went into just for schools. And then a senator from Big Timber named Grossfield decided, we shouldn't have those special pots. We gotta have it so that the legislators decide where the money gets spent. And they got rid of the special pots. So now they're saying they're putting money into a fund for state school equalization. I don't know that that's accurate. I don't think they are specific, and I think that needs to be figured out at the legislature. It's above my pay grade, but I am concerned about it, and we tried to control our tax increases by saying, we're not doing the, however much it was, look at Department of Revenue, which is not an elected official, that is somebody's hired gun for the executive department, said, nope, we gotta have the full 17 mills or whatever it was, and 17 mills at the new valuation. That's why the property taxes went so high. It isn't that we're spending any more money, it's going to the state, and then they are sending us a refund. I shouldn't get started on that because I'm really mad about it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Why can't we
complicated.
keep it in your own, why can't we keep it in our pocket instead of sending it to Greg and having him send it back to us?
Yeah.
That.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, thank you, guys. We'll go into board report, Stacy.
Well, I feel your pain on the weather, Christian, with the wind. Wind has just been unbelievable this spring. Tough to get any work done, but we're looking forward to tomorrow. I'll be working with Judith Dam and Kevin Sheridan up in the Canyon Creek area, and a representative from Forest Service also on our spray project up there. So hopefully we can get a bunch of that property sprays and start getting a better handle on some of the weed issues. Christian, you did answer, I did have a question, who is responsible for Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds and the weed spraying there? I just happened to notice when I was voting yesterday, the north side of the Bill Hamilton Memorial Building is loaded with white top. And right now, I mean, white top is just rampant. We all know that. It's always the end of May for first section, but it's I'm just driving in here, going up Green Meadow, it's like, just pockets of it everywhere, so. Stands out, yeah, but anyway, that, I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention there. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to report, so, thank you.
Any questions for Stacy? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I would just echo what Stacy said, especially like on Green, on McHugh Drive. The white top wasn't there a couple, 3 days ago. No, it's. So,
I'm sorry, one other thing, several years ago, I think I had shared with Judith Dam and with you the leafy spurge along Helena Valley irrigation ditch, the canal right there. I know they went in and sprayed that with something, a number of years ago. They did burn it down, I guess, but that patch of leafy spurge right on that canal bank is still there, and it's sizable. I mean, and, you know, I guess it's an irritant for me because that leafy spurge seeding and then going out to the whole valley. I mean, it just booming the weeds, you know. I mean, even where, you know, I got guys that, you know, we run canal water because 10 miles, so you know, weed infested, and it's like, well, the canal's not any better. And I've spoken with the canal district and trying to get them guys on board, and I don't know.
Yeah, we can reach out to the Helena Valley Irrigation District again about seeing when they sprayed, if they sprayed, or when they plan on spraying. I know it gets a little, they pretty much don't do a whole lot as soon as they turn the water on.
Right.
It's when they sort of turn the water on, that sort of stops all that. But that doesn't mean they can't spray post canal season when they shut it off. There's still spray time in October, November if you're doing it. So anyways, we got to talk to them on a few other things too. So
And
but we can definitely talk to them about that again.
the spurge out on Silver Creek right before Green Meadow Auto Salvage is
Yeah.
just a mess there too. But I mean, I get it, you know, I mean, the canal thing, it's right on it's on the water side of the bank, so we're kind of, you know, up against, I mean, but there are products out there that would maybe not be as good as, you know, running Toron or something through there, but I mean, you can get something. I would think they could get something on there. Try to mitigate those weeds. Anyway,
No, they actually should, because we used to spray for them during the summertime.
Yeah, I've never got a contract to spray for them before.
Yeah, we used to do it.
They do use a contractor. I'm not sure who that is currently. But
Yeah, would be a thing to bring up with them.
Yeah.
Would it help if you, because Helena Valley Irrigation it's federal water, BLM. Could, if we talk to the feds, could they give them more money, or what I'm thinking, rather than be mean about it, to give them a helping hand so that we can help you. We're gonna talk to John Tester or Steve, whoever wants, but get some federal money to help with
I
this.
think if they ask them to make it a priority for them again, that would help, because then they could budget for it in the long run.
Okay.
And that's what they used to do all the time. Because when I was coordinator, we used to spray for the irrigation ditch all summer long.
Okay.
So I think once they make it a priority for them again, then that would bring in some funding to help them get something done on there, because they used to do it quite a bit.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, so that's.
when were you the weed coordinator? What year?
From 90 to 93.
Okay, so before Larry.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I actually contracted with them for a couple of years too, when it was working nitro greens.
Oh. Okay, would you want us to write a letter to the BLM then, or?
Well, it would be actually Bureau of Reclamation, I think is the one,
Yeah.
well, so Helena Valley Irrigation is different, but that's where that's the federal side of it.
I guess I would talk to Helena Irrigation first, just
Yeah.
to see,
yeah, Helena Valley, yeah, Irrigation District.
and tell them we're not opposed to writing letters for them to help them try to find funding if they'll make it a priority.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's just the one that I see, because I go back all the time. It was like, I'm sure the whole thing is.
That's all I had. I kind of talked about the WGCA earlier. Is Pete not on?
He was not.
Did he say? anything?
He had said he was gonna be on, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
Well, it was great news on the Hound's Tongue, so I'll try to watch that up in my area. Tomorrow is Ford Creek Spray Day. That's been going on for a number of years. And I learn a lot coming to the board, and now it's focused on the spray day tomorrow, and I got to thinking the benchmark, I talked to Christensen about this a month ago or so, but the Benchmark Road ends on the Cobb Ranch, and then we have an easement, I assume with the Forest Service, then it hits the Forest Service property. And Jim Spender from the Forest Service, who does the spraying, I agree with him that right at the edge, the spotted knotweed is starting to really show itself, and we, with our resources, we spray in the fall, but gonna probably hit it this spring, but then I was thinking, well, we had to give them an easement agreement back in the days of private property, and so I left a message with the District Forest Service Ranger, and I just bringing this out to the board. So whose memorandum of understanding, I'm sure back 50 years ago, they just said, we'll give you an easement through our property, unrestricted access, but probably no mention of weeds were ever mentioned because there were no such thing as weeds then. So I'd like I left a message with the Forest Service. With our resources, it'd be great if they were to ante up, but I didn't know if anybody here is familiar with public roads going through private property and then hitting the Forest Service, who becomes, sure, it's the landowner's responsible for the land, but the public is using it. So somehow they should ante up and help take care of the weed problems. And I see that Benchmark and Beaver Creek Road are more and more public is using it. So that's where I'm at right now. Sure, it'd be great to have the county say, we'll take it over, right? But we'll see what the Forest Service says.
Taxes.
Then,
Expenses.
what do you call it? And then I was looking at biocontrol, and I know you have the greenhouse and driving up here, and I see I think the state weed management program, they talk about how the schools get involved with growing the bugs. And do you think the schools in the Helena Valley could help grow bugs in your greenhouse or take it upon themselves to do it somewhere?
It's a good question. I've never reached out to anybody and nobody's ever really reached out to us in that regard. I know they've had a real big one in Whitehall. That guy, yeah, he's done that for a lot of years too, but I think that was more of like, this is how like it was his business, but he used it as part of like their FFA. So, and I could be totally misspoken on that, but.
He runs strictly like grant. There used to be an insectarium in Augusta, the high schools or middle school used to work with. My understanding for like knotweed is that you have to build a barrier into the ground that comes up above it, that prevents the beetles from climbing out, and then it stays contained so that then you can go back year after year to collect.
But Augusta did that for a while.
Yeah,
They actually had a greenhouse though too, where they were trying to, both Whitehall and Augusta were trying to raise insects for toadflax. And that's what they did in the greenhouses. The outside insectaries are what Alex is talking about, where they take flashing and put it in the ground and then the bugs can't get out, but you collect them inside those contained areas. Jim Story with MSU over at the Ag Research Center in Corvallis did that. He's the one that actually started all that kind of stuff. So that's where we learned it from him, is to do that type of insectaries. But Madison County, I don't know if they still have one or not. The ones in Ravalli County, those kids are growing native plants and not so much insects. They're growing native plants to sell at farmers market days, that type of stuff.
And I'm not sure at Augusta School, they don't have a greenhouse anymore. Are they abandoned it?
Yeah, I know that the outside project was abandoned back in the early 2000s, I think, just because we have some old files about it and they've done it for a few years and I don't know why it was.
And a lot of those, like Alex was saying, a lot of those, like Todd's program, all ran through the Noxious Weed Trust Fund. They used to get grants to help pay for the kids and everything that they did, so.
Listening on the board like last year, I think it's in the summertime or late summer that you always have the biocontrol people saying, come and help us collect bugs. And so it'd be great if it was during the school year or something, you could, but is that too late?
For the knapweed, it's really close. Just depends on the year. But that's what they used to do at the White House School, so that the kids would all come out when their science classroom
Yeah.
would all come out and collect all the insects, and then Todd would disperse them, but.
So you could-
It sounds like a 4-H project.
They,
Because 4-H is more active
they did some with 4-H, but most of it was,
with this.
just school. But that's something, I mean, you might could check in with one of the science teachers and see if they're interested.
Yeah.
So the houndstong, see it's already making its buds. Knapweed is still pretty immature. I'll go look for white knot now.
It's everywhere.
You don't have to look for it. It's out there.
That's about the Augusta area, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it gets 80 or 90 this weekend, everything's gonna be popping.
Yeah.
Shelley,
Yes,
you have anything to report?
mostly just that everywhere I go, I'm seeing white top, I'm seeing the Dalmatian toadflax is starting to bud out and it's got flowers on it. The leafy spurge is flowering, the knapweed's coming up, all the good stuff. One of the things that I know about white top from all of my experience with it is that if you get the patches when they are young, when they are new, you have a really good chance of killing them out completely with no problem. Like within a year or two, you can completely annihilate them. If you let them go past year 3 or 4, you've pretty much lost your battle. By about year 5, because they spread both rhizominously and through the seeds, they are so entrenched and you start losing productivity on your land dramatically because they just kind of take over their early season, so they suck up a lot of everything from the land. One of the things that I would again recommend is just getting out there on whatever small patch is out there. Get it out there now. One that I saw is off of on BLM ground in the scratch gravels on the Echo Lane access. There's a trail that goes down to the riparian up above some folks' place, and what I've seen is that there's a big patch of white top in the riparian there, but it doesn't look like it's been established for very long. But there are dozens of trees up on the hillside there where it's starting now because animals will eat it once the seed has produced because it's high protein. So they'll eat it and then they'll deposit it where they are hanging out. And then that's why you end up with new patches. So for the BLM, that's a patch that would be really nice to get handled so that, and those little additional new patches, because that could take out pretty much that whole west side of the scratch gravels if we let it go. So.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, that on your radar?
No, I wrote them down and go.
Well, it looked like Kevin was taking notes.
Yeah.
With BLM, which is good.
And Kevin's completely aware of
Yeah.
the scratch gravel issue.
Yeah.
And it's been a
Hot topic since I've been here, for sure.
Okay, thank you. Rob,
I thought I had a handle on the white top till this week and all of a sudden it starts showing up in my area. And like Stacy said, it's been wind and weather that's kind of been preempting full-time spraying, but hopefully the next few 4 or 5 days I can get at it. Try to get a handle, look for a crucifix bug too.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's all I got.
Okay, thanks. I guess I would say too, when you guys are out there this week on your spray days, you might want to really keep an eye out for bugs, see if there's any around there.
Try to keep those plants alive. So that those bugs can reproduce.
Well, that goes against.
Yes, yes, no, we're bug breeders now.
I'm gal, we need Gavin, we need a corral, we need a horseback ride to get them into the. Oh, yeah.
Not spray a weed, that's not herbal cow.
All the knapweeds and thistles, just
Yeah.
leave the hounds tongue alone.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Neil?
Well, I wouldn't want to stray from the topic at hand. This is the first year I've ever seen white top in our yard too. And, we've got a gravel patch, you know, we didn't make the house. And imagine previous owners had a big RV or something, but it's a gravel patch about 20 feet wide, maybe 40 feet long, and it came up like gangbusters. And, I would estimate maybe 150 individual stems, which means there's rhizomes all over the place. But I did what they just recommended, which is I hit it with 2,4-D, and hopefully that'll take care of it. But I was really surprised. I've never seen that.
Yeah, Neil, I would try to get some like a sulfuron on there is really what you want to use on those mustards, like a Telar or an Escort. You
Okay,
have chlorosulfuron and metsulfuron. I know those are big words, but
Escort.
yeah.
Right, Kevin?
Or there's Cimarron Plus at Murdoch's too. That's both of them mixed together. That one works pretty good.
is that
Yeah.
with an S or a C?
C.
Cimarron.
Cimarron.
Like Cimarron, New Mexico kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Cimarron.
It's $44.
Rob knows.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a small.
But those,
Because those are good.
you need,
mustards,
yeah, mustards are really hard to manage. That any of the auxins like Milestone, 2,4-D, Gordon, it
Don't really do the trick.
nope, it won't do anything. It actually might make them grow bigger in some cases. Cause it just doesn't affect mustards. Mustards are a problem in general, whether they're noxious or nuisance. That's what, we have yellow ball mustards all over the place right now. Tumble mustard is everywhere. You can't drive anywhere and not see that everywhere. And so they're just difficult to manage. In some cases, those right now you want to try to kill them too, but if you do see them, fall time's always a good time to help mitigate those.
You said
Right.
fall.
Fall is a good time to mitigate a lot of our rhizominous plants. So that way they help suck that in and help distribute that among the rhizomes.
It's good to know.
Yeah,
And surfactant.
and so, yeah, definitely surfactant on those. Yeah, always run surfactant. Otherwise you're sort of wasting your money with the herbicide that you're purchasing. And especially herbicide isn't getting any cheaper these days either. It seems to be increasing.
That's well.
Yeah, it's getting up there. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I would suggest on your white top.
Okay, and you buy the surfactant separately?
Yeah, the surfactant is separately.
Activator is one of the.
Activator 90, yep, is one of the ones that they have there at Murdoch's too.
That's one of my favorites. It's
all
almost a
I've
lot
ever
less than
used.
I've used other ones they had up in the box.
The other things that I've been doing, I think you guys all know I live in Kansas during the academic year. First 2 weeks when I come back, is just trying to get our own yard cleaned up. I dug 90 dandelions yesterday after dinner, but,
You count them?
yeah, well, it makes more of a game out of it. I mean, seriously, I caught musk thistles when I pull them, and I don't think people believe me when I come up with the numbers. I did 850 in 2 hours last summer. But I mean, there would be like, what, 75, 100 musk thistles in a room this size, and you just, they got big gloves on.
Yeah, you pull them.
I pull them and count it because it's more fun that way. I can do another 20. So anyway, I've hiked some of the trails, getting the dog out, but, do you remember I mentioned there was a really large patch of, musk thistle up in the McKelvey Trail, and then it's called the, well, just South Dump Gulch as you go up.
Okay.
And I walked one of the trails here, there's still a lot of stuff there, it's not bolting yet, but that's gonna be a big patch to tackle.
Gotcha, yeah, that's the city, right? That's the city
Oh, would that be
trails?
the city? Yeah.
I think those are city city
Okay.
parks and trails,
Well,
but
you can
we're
contact
more than happy to help. Get.
Should I contact Prickly Pear or any?
I don't know, I would see if we could work with
Parks and
somebody.
Recreation.
Parks and Recreation.
Yeah,
Rec
Parks and
with-
Recreation with the city, I would say.
Okay, good to know. That's about really all I have to point out right now.
Okay. Appreciate that. I would say too that the hospital, St. Peter's,
Yeah,
terrible. Should probably contact them. I was sitting in his chair last week and it's starting to pop everywhere.
way top, we probably should just send them a letter.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Okay, Judith.
Okay, so, first off, the date for the Montana Youth Experience for next year is April 19th. That's
The what?
April 19th for the Montana Youth Experience, which
Oh,
was
for
the
next
one
year.
that I did at the fairgrounds,
Okay.
and Jade came,
Okay, that was the conservation district.
part of
one,
it.
Yeah,
Right,
CD youth.
yeah, there were, 45
20,
vendors there, and Conservation District was one of them, so
Okay.
there you go.
We'll get that
So-
on our calendar.
Get that on the calendar. And here's just a thought. But, the girl that was next to us was doing the balls with the flowers in them that you threw and planted flowers. So now that we have this little guy, I'm wondering if is there any way to make a bug condo that people could see in? You know, remember the ant condos? When we were little?
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys, but if we had something that we could, maybe when we're out looking for these guys, if we could salvage any of them that are in the roots and then let them survive over winter someplace.
Yeah,
And then have something that the kids could come and look at and say, that kills Houndstone.
yeah.
It's a big vision, it's a lot of hoopla, but anyway, that was just my little thought in my moment.
Just on that, we're really not supposed to be touching that and spreading it.
But maybe we could do knapweed or something like
Yeah, you
that,
may-
or Dalmatian toadflax, do they have one? Bug?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we don't have to do this guy, we don't wanna go to prison tomorrow.
I don't wanna pay $100,000
Right,
either.
anyway, so we won't, he's here. There you go. And then the education trailer for that day, maybe on the 19th. Anybody else got any ideas? We can talk about it down the deal. Now, following up with caps and jackets.
I have not done anything with that.
I might see Angie today.
Okay.
So I'll talk about that. Large, extra large,
A t-shirt.
just a hat, do you wanna? We did jackets,
I'm pretty well set for jackets, but a hat, sure.
hat, okay. Shall we go around this very, Candace? What do you
Hat.
want, a jacket or a hat?
A hat.
Okay, and you,
A hat.
a hat, that's 3,
I'll do a jacket,
jacket,
2X.
2X,
Yeah.
Hat.
Let's do a hat.
You do see
jacket.
symbol.
hat,
Oh, yeah.
A hat guy.
jacket,
She said how.
Hat jacket.
you're gonna pass?
What's on it? What?
It's the Lewis.
First time I'm hearing it.
Wilson Park County redistrict.
Okay, everybody has.
You'll have a hat. Okay. Okay, and me, yeah, there you go.
What
And
about Shelley?
Stacy,
Jacket XL.
a jacket, oh, wait a minute, let's see. You said 2X?
No,
Just to have
What?
it.
Oh, you're, 2X?
wish to make.
Jamie.
Jacket XL.
What about the people online?
Yes. You have to be here to win.
Well,
Present.
Jacket and a hat.
A jacket and
Two
a hat,
X.
okay. And you are 2X? Is that what you said? Stacy, or Shelley? You
Yes,
want a
ma'am.
hat?
Sure, a hat would be great.
What, a hat?
Yes, ma'am.
Kevin? No?
You don't wanna be associated with this.
For the evidence.
And then I'll email Pete.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So Pete's the only one that's not here. Okay, perfect. That's done. Okay, one more thing. Christian, did the pull your share, how did that turn out?
I don't think he got anywhere with that.
Okay. Landers Fork and Lincoln got their grant,
Yes,
95% funded,
correct.
is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
And Judith Anna got presented to the Board of County Commissioners last week and they approved it. So we're good to go.
We're good to go there. That's good. That's good. Prickly Pear Bridge is done. Kevin did a great job and I've sent him a little thank you note. Yada, yada, yada. So
Back, the Landers Fork, what did that detail on that? What it was all?
Cost share, spray and cost share program.
Six different landowners, I think, were partnered on that project. So it was a big.
Huge amount then?
area.
Is along the river?
Yeah, along the.
I don't know the exact location.
This Landers Fork is a river.
yeah,
I think it's the landowners up on Landers Fork. up here.
Landers Fork, Alice Creek.
Yeah.
I know, that's, yeah.
and that's a big area between Landers Fork and
It sure
Allen.
is.
So I'm not sure what that, I didn't see a map.
Several miles between those two.
Right.
Yeah, Christian.
So that would, but I mean, if they get going, that'll be a big deal.
It will be.
Okay, tomorrow's our spray days. I think we still have about 20 people. And so that's all coming together if I live long enough.
What's
Get
for
through-
lunch?
Get through tonight, I'll be okay. These are the little promo bags I'm doing. I'm using our stickers. And I've got Montana Noxious Weed Awareness Week on one side, and that's the initials. Shelley, Kevin. Spray days. And then Lost Horse Creek Empire Spray Days, June 6th and 9th. So, and then there'll be all kinds of little goodies, of which Department of Agriculture gave me 2 or 3 items to put in these little bags, plus there's gonna be a snack. And I went through my bag of tricks and found some things. Do we have any pencils?
Yes.
I need pencils, about 25 of them, okay, for this. And so everybody will get one of these tomorrow night at dinner, and we're having pulled pork, corn on the cob, mac and cheese, and baked beans and brownies. And bring your own beer.
And Bud Light,
So what?
but Bush Light or Bud Light or
But
Miller Light,
whatever.
Miller Light, Coors
Anyway.
Light, not a Bud.
Lincoln Rodeo, we talked about. Landers Fork. Oh, I had a friend here from my days in Palm Springs that now lives in Kellogg or in Ketchum, Idaho. And he made his first trip to the ranch this week, quite unannounced, but we had a great time. But he said to me, he said, Judith Ann, this valley looks fabulous. You don't have any weeds. I said, well, I've got them hidden because there are plenty of them, trust me. But he said, Idaho doesn't look like this. He says, you need to come to my house. I said, well, I could do that. But anyway, that's enough. The radio ads are great. I've been hearing them. They're good. I don't know who wrote all that stuff, but
It was sort of it was a group effort between all of us, yeah.
you did a good job. Absolutely perfect.
Which station?
This week, we ran them on two, we ran it on 99.5 the bowl and then 101.1. Just highlighting what we do, and then we made sure to highlight Montana Weed Control Association, Department of Ag as well, so just trying to help spread a little bit of awareness.
And also Montana Noxious Weed Awareness Week was on the ones.
Yes,
today.
this week, yeah,
This
yeah,
week,
we
yeah.
highlighted this week specifically, yep,
Right,
special one for this week.
yeah. Okay, now, I met with my friend Michelle. We emailed Alex and Jade this morning. She had a weed. She didn't know what it was, but anyway, she lives out by the old dump site. 20 plus acres or something that she's been working for about 20 years. I have not been there in probably 10. Her place looks fabulous. I mean, there's not a weed anywhere. I go, girlfriend, how do you do this? So anyway, Michelle's getting a hat and a jacket that I'm paying for because she's done a lot for, I mean, that dump area is amazing. Next to her and up next to the BLM and all of that. She's done a great job. So I'm giving it to Michelle. Oh, here you go, girlfriend. Pull your share. Silver Creek, the leafy spurge is awful.
Yeah. Yeah, in the past, we've done a lot of non-compliance on those, but a lot of the contractors, they just spray the top, they don't get into the creek area, which that's such a hard thing to do, so a lot of those landowners, you know, they're in compliance with the law, they're doing as much as they can with what they have, it's sort of tough. We did put out Oberias last year, right there at the Green Meadow Bridge on the MDT section.
Yeah.
End bugs to end beetles there too, to just try, because that's sort of relatively, and I know it's been there for a little while, but ever since that earthquake happened and that Silver Creek runs a little bit more consistently throughout the whole year, that has progressively gotten worse and worse and worse every year. It has all the moisture it wants really
Yeah.
anymore. It used to dry up, so which made it easier to manage, made it easier, you know, the plant gets stressed out during drought season, all that fun stuff. But with that Silver Creek running a little bit more, that's just history that I've heard from individuals with something that happened. So yeah, we do have some bugs out there. We
That's
were.
good.
And hopefully we can get some more out there, 'cause like we find out, bugs don't like to stay in one place, they like to move, so. We're just sort of cause I'm not spraying, I do the NDT stuff, and I'm not spraying in the creek either, so. You know what I mean, like we do what we can, with what tools we got, but we have been, Alex and I have been, helping collect some of the bugs and putting some of the bugs when we get a little extra here or there, or someone says that they're gonna come get them but don't show up, so it's just right down the road, we go drop them off and let them be.
And it's quick and easy.
Yeah, so we're working on it, it's not exactly a tool that's fast, but trying to get something in there to help with that area.
Now I have one more thing, one more thing, I have two more things.
Your
The
5
rolling
minutes is up.
bag for our events, huh?
No, your 5 minutes is up.
I know it's up. I talk too much. I know it's up, but it's just important stuff. The rolling bag is all put together. It has 35 things in it that are important to events and all what we're gonna do. And Jade worked really hard to put together, and I'm gonna show you, hold on.
When's the ads on? Do you have any idea when they're?
They're doing
So-
Monday, Wednesday and Fridays, and there's 10 ads through the day.
This is the rolling bag that we have to work with. This is what happens to everything that,
Oh, I get what you're saying by that, okay. Just
That-
organizer, yeah.
everything gets mucked up, to put it mildly. So, and so they make bags that you can put all these posters in that are poster
Friendly, yeah.
perfect. And you can pack them around. You slide these things down in them. They have pockets in them. I haven't priced them out. But this is a really big hassle for when you're doing events.
That's why it was nice to have the education
Yeah,
trailer for the,
right.
for that, because we were able to just put it all in there, but we don't have that all the time.
So, and so now I'm packing all this stuff around. I'm making 48 trips wherever. And they're all mucked up when I get them done with bent corners. So this is part of what we used at the home show. Jay did a fabulous job, but as you can see, everything's kind of getting mucked up. We've used this at
It's been
3,
used for 2 years, yeah.
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, the sides are all broken. Sides are all broken, and it pretty much doesn't look very professional. So,
I suppose duct tape wouldn't be a good option.
no duct tape. It only in the rolling bag in case we need it, maybe here for me. So. The next, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong thing. So we're going back to the rolling banners. The rolling banners. And the tablecloths. So when we do our next event, that we don't look like we are non-professional at what we're doing. So, I would like to be able to put everything that Jade put on this on a rolling banner, so that when all we had to do was roll it up and it's there, we roll it down and it's all perfect for the next event. It's not all tore up, or we don't have to worry about replacing parts of it. And then I would like to put this poster on a rolling one. So all we had to do was roll this up. This is the 33 Montana noxious weeds that are on our book, are the only ones that are there. Put this in, oh, I got it upside down. Not quite right. But put that on a rolling banner, maybe enlarge it, make it a little bigger so that it's easier to see. Maybe there's another one poster that says plant this, not that.
Yeah, there is that.
What is that?
That's what the
Plant-
poster is,
yeah,
yeah.
plant this, not that. They're lookalikes.
Mhm.
One's noxious, one's not noxious. So I would like to work on this project, and so that maybe before home show next March,
Yeah, we can put that on
that
our
we
to-do list
are,
for off-season stuff.
would have, I mean, the trailer we have, but we don't always have the trailer. So, anybody's thoughts?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I-
Or roll up poster.
Yeah, cause that one sort of does all of our county noxious, or all of our county listed weeds. Which is.
Shelley, did you see this?
Yes, ma'am. It looks great.
Just sort of that.
Did you
and
see
then-
this? Where are you?
There's cameras in the middle of the room.
Oh,
I could, yep, I was watching.
okay, very good. And then I was so busy with the bees. But here are the pollinator ones. Which could be important, are important also. So. And then this is this. So,
Long time ago.
Like I said, that one's been around for a few years.
yeah,
Yeah, we can work on putting something together.
so
Yeah.
I don't know if we want a group of us to work together on it. But at least get rolling before,
As long as we can wait till after spray season to work on this.
what?
After spray season.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, I'll
yeah,
put that on our to-do list for
October,
October.
November.
That sounds good to me to start on.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay,
And then we can get prices so that we know exactly what we're dealing with.
gotcha.
Get the tablecloths and everything. We'll have our logo.
Yep.
We
Yep.
can put that on it.
Yep.
Good.
Okay? Okay,
Awesome.
that's my deal.
Sounds good.
I talk too much.
All right. So, any discussion on noxious weed awareness week?
I mean, just to add, I think it's going really good. Becky is back on board. She's doing a fantastic job with all the Montana weed control stuff. Make sure you're paying attention if you're buying raffle tickets. They've been raffling those off. It's been going real good. Our ads have been going good. Jade's been doing an awesome job getting all that stuff on Facebook. She's highlighted every one of these weeds on our webpage, all of our county listed weeds, because they're talking about a lot of other stuff that. So I thought that was versus just sharing and replicating what they're doing with the Montana Weed Control platform and Department of Ag. I thought that this is a little bit more specific to us and help with that. So, yeah, no, it's been good. I think it's been going pretty smooth.
I've seen quite a bit of the ads from the NWCA. I did. Of the 1,200 tickets that they had printed for the gun raffle, they sold 750. So,
I just saw them drawing yesterday, I think,
Yeah.
that 7 guns and 7 gates.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
yeah, they
Kimberly
draw
was
every
still
new. So,
Did you win?
I didn't know they did.
Yeah, but no, that's all I have on there, just as it's
Okay.
going real well this year. It seems to be running real smooth.
Yeah, I see Misk is even highlighting
Yep.
that too, so that's
Mhm.
good. Okay, the Carbon County letter, let's just table that. We'll do it this fall,
Okay.
this next one.
Until the fall.
Get it ready for next year. July meeting is. I'm more than comfortable not having the July meeting like we normally do. Things are busy, people are gonna be swamped.
Yeah. July's tough to get. July's real busy, especially the first couple weeks in July. You're hoping to get as much done before it starts to dry up on us.
Yeah.
That or we're haying.
So we'll keep the July 10th as a placeholder just in case something comes up.
Okay.
And then the next meeting will be August, the scheduled meeting will be August 7th then.
Sounds good, sir. And we'll have a report for you guys, and then we'll have a nice quarterly report, budget report for everybody that August meeting as well.
Okay. Okay, any other discussion items that weren't listed?
I just wanted to bring up what everybody's feeling on the dryness. I see springs on the ranch that I've never seen dry before, and I know coming here to Helena, we're a lot greener than you guys are, so I think you guys are pretty dry down here. But is there any projections on how much the drought could be, or?
Weatherman knows.
Yeah, I haven't heard. But I do agree, it's gonna be. From driving around yesterday to Sealy and back that way, looking at Nevada Creek Dam, it's not even close to going over the spillway. And it's usually going over that by now, so
Oh, wow.
I think we're gonna be.
I don't really think we had a runoff.
Like I said, I'm not cursing the rain, but I'm certainly cursing the wind right now. So
I hear you there.
we use all the rain. Rain is a little easier to work around. The wind has just been very sustained this spring, and I think that's half our dry problem too.
It's dangerous too.
Oh, man, no, yeah, it's been bad.
And I'm still denial. Last year, the rains came at the right time and I've never seen so much grass on the ridge.
Well, hopefully we get some more, yeah.
Okay, well, so next meeting, August 7th, 1 o'clock. Well, the grade reports, the quarterly budget, if anybody has anything between now and then that comes up that we need on there. Let Jade or myself or Christian know. And with that, thanks for coming on, Kevin. I'm sorry you couldn't get you to talk there, but we'll try to figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah, and he said you'd add those
Yeah.
areas for the echo and scratch
Okay.
gravel.
Great.
Areas. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin and Shelley.
Yep, appreciate you being on. Thank you. So
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
movement to adjourn, motion to adjourn,
I move.
adjourn.
Awesome.
All right.